here, right? This is the scripture that Kanye and Kyrie probably read and was like, oh, I gotta tell my people this, right? Watch this. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. Right. He said, I know your works. He's talking to a group of people, right? Right. The group of people he's talking to are the real Jews. He says that he knows their what? Their works? Thy works. Their works. I know you guys working. I got 2 jobs myself. I know y'all working like hell, right? We always got in these different avenues to try to make money, right? We're slaving, right? Working. I know y'all works, right? I know y'all trying to be good people, right? I know y'all good works, right? Keep reading. And tribulation. And tribulation, right? I know you guys go through tribulation as black people, as Hispanics. Get shot down the street and no justice performed, right? Correct. I know you guys are still getting lynched to today and hung to today, right? Keep reading. And poverty. And poverty, right? When you look at any city, who's living the most in poverty? Us. How you want to know how you know that? No. Every city has a ghetto. Who's living in there? Us, gang, right? Gang, yeah. Right? He says, I know that poverty, but what? But thou art rich. Thou art rich. Give me James 2 and 5 if you can real quick. Right? Why do you think he's saying, but thou art rich? He's saying, y'all going through all this stuff, but you're still rich. What's he mean?
Rich and power within our talent, within us, ourselves.
Right? I like that answer. You got an answer?
The spirit that God put.
Right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Got it? Yeah. Now watch this.
This is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 5.
Yeah, I heard that.
Hearken, my beloved brethren. Hath not God chosen the poor of this world?
It's like we went over, right? We're in poverty. We go through tribulation, right? We working, right? He chose us, right?
But rich in faith.
But what? Rich in what?
But rich in faith.
Rich in faith. That's why, even though we're living at the bottom of society, our people always like to turn up. Always having a good time. Look at the brother right now. This man been smiling
why
since
not?
he stepped up, right?
It's not on me. It's in me.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Us.
It's in
us,
us, right?
Yeah.
Why is that Deuteronomy 7:6 real quick, right?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
Quick on that sword.
Because you said something. You said, man, this is something in us that's, that's special, right? Watch this.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
He's talking to the Israelites, right? God's chosen people, right? The blacks and Hispanics, like Kanye and Kyrie was saying, right? Keep reading.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Special people unto himself. Keep reading.
Above all people.
No, we're equal to.
Above all people.
No, Black Lives Matter. We just want to be equal to the white man.
Above all people.
Above all people, right?
That are upon the face of the earth.
That's upon the face of the earth. We still striving for equality when we're above them, right?
Right.
Who created the stop sign? The telephone, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're special people, like you said, right? Now let's go back, right? Let's see who the real Jews are. Because he's saying that the real Jews are in tribulation, they're in poverty, and they're working like crazy, right? And they're rich in faith. Keep reading. Slakia. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews. Now, you guys know what blasphemy is?
I heard of it, but I'm not.
A blasphemy is like a very big lie, a very wicked lie. He says, I know the blasphemy of them that what? Which say they are Jews and are not. That say they're Jews and are not. I know the ones that out there that's lying saying that they're Jews, but they're not, right?
They're not living in poverty. They're
right.
not stressing. They're not doing none of that. They're actually getting billions of dollars every year for doing nothing.
They own all the media. That's what Kanye was saying. He's saying, hey, look, these Jewish people, they can ruin my life if they wanted to. They own all the media.
Right.
Right? He said, I'm with Adidas. After I say this, watch Adidas take the contract away from me. Right? That's what he was saying. Right.
I seen that. Yeah.
Exactly. Same
how
thing
much
with
money they didn't have without him.
Right. Just like Kyrie. Right? Kyrie uploaded that Hebrews to Negro.
Yeah.
Hey, they damn near kicked him off the team.
Yeah.
Right?
Kicked him out of the league, up.
Adam Silver, right? He's the man that's up there auctioning, the ball man that look like an alien, right? He's Jewish. The one that does all the what's that? What just happened?
The draft.
The draft. He stands up there.
He's the general
And
manager.
now with the pick, that's it.
And when you say he's Jewish, it would be he's Jewish.
Jewish.
Right?
Now,
Right.
perfect, right?
Good.
Right. So we're the real Jews, right?
Right.
Now they call themselves Jewish. Now if I call you, bruh, come on, bruh, you acting childish. Are you a child?
Yeah, of course not.
But you're acting like a child because that ish part is the child-ish, right? Just like them, they're Jewish. They're trying to act like the Jews, but who are the real Jews? It's us, right? Now it says that they say they're the Jews, but they're not. But what are they?
What are the synagogue of Satan?
They're the synagogue of what? but are the synagogue of Satan. Hey, look, this is the King James Bible, bro. It says that the people that are saying that they're Jews and not
If you Bible look,
are the synagogue of Satan, right? Now,
James.
synagogue just means chief house of, right? So they're the chief people of Satan. Look, God has a chosen people.
I believe you, my brother.
Look, God has a chosen people, and Satan has a chosen people.
Right.
That's just how it is, right?
Because when Satan fell down from heaven, how many people fell down with him?
So,
How many of the
Took
angels?
a third part.
He took a third.
Said.
Favor with him.
so, and that's another thing. We can get into that later, right?
right.
But when Satan has dominion over this earth right now, right? It says that the world is given into the hands of the wicked, right? He has to have somebody to orchestrate his works because he's a spirit. He's not in the physical.
Right.
Now, when you
Well,
look,
you can come in the physical, but
right?
that's another.
What
So
people?
watch this, right? He said that the world is given into the hand of the wicked, which is Satan, right?
Right.
But who seems to be ruling the world right now?
So race of
In our own
people.
way.
Ask them what race king.
If we were ruling the world,
A race really ruling the world? Caucasian.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
go.
right? And it says the world is given into the hand of the wicked, right? Now watch this, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. To further, I'm gonna let you guys, because that sounds like okay, I can believe y'all, right? We can be the people of the book. But now I'm gonna show you emphatically that we're the people of the book. You got a question?
Yeah. When they say like back in time, like 400 years ago, we used to be in power. We used to rule.
Right.
What happened?
Right. So
Good question.
Watch this. You give me you
Good
cover
question.
the faces of the judges thereof.
Jo- 920.
Get it real quick. And so, what's the name, right? Back when we used to rule in Europe, right? It was called the Dark Ages, right? They called it Dark Ages, probably because we was dark, right? This is where you guys ever heard like the Moors and stuff?
Nah, a little bit. So
A little bit. Now the word Moor just means black, but around that time we was ruling.
M-O-R-E.
How's it spelled?
M-O-O-R.
M-O-R-E. Yeah.
M-O-O-R.
Yeah. So
More.
right. So we was in rulership then, right? And then what happened was, right, you had these white folks that came down and they started waging wars with us, right? After they took over us, they started painting pictures of themselves instead of us. It's called iconoclasm, right?
Iconoclasm.
Iconoclasm. Go look it up, right? It's all documented. The iconoclasm is the practice of taking an image and painting it a different image, right? So like this image right here.
Same way they did with our
Right.
Lord.
So for instance, they bust up in our castles. They saw all these images of black folks, right? But they liked them. They took it, and iconoclasm is the art of taking that black man and making him a white man.
Wow. So
It's
maybe they seen the real Jesus, our God of our
Exactly, right?
Even in the Catholic Church, you'll see those old pictures of Jesus in the Catholic Church, and it'll be a black man.
Right.
Black.
Right.
We do it way behind, but it'll be Harold Wolf.
Right. So even King James, right?
Right.
Now people say King James was a gay white man, right? But if you do some research, King James was a black guy, right? You know, so when you look at the Dark Ages, when we used to rule, and then we got siege, and then they came. This happened. Bring this out.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Like we were just talking about, right?
He covered the faces of the judges
The
thereof.
wicked covered the faces of the judges thereof, right? Judges are usually somebody that are the mighty men in the land.
Our world, right?
Right, the mighty
For
men.
the
So,
flesh, physical flesh.
like Jesus, right? Who the world called Jesus, he would be the mighty judge, right? Now they took all of our mighty men, and they covered their face, right? How did they do that? Now Jesus is a white guy.
Right.
Now Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are white men, right? This is what they did, right? That's iconoclasm. That's an actual term that you can look up and actually see. They actually took pictures of people actually looking at an image and painted it white, right? And so that's kind of how that happened, right? Now, back to this, right? Just to show you emphatically that we are the people of the book. Just in case, you know what I'm saying?
He asked also, how did we fall from that position? He
Gotcha.
said we were in rulership, but how do we fall from that?
How do we get in this position that we're in right now?
God was mad at us and punished us.
Right. Hey, we about to bring it out. Watch this.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy
The
God.
word hearken means to hear, right?
hear,
Right.
right,
If we
right.
don't hear the Most High God to do what? Keep reading.
To do observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day.
If we don't hear him to do all these laws, statutes, and commandments that's in this book, right? You guys heard of the Ten Commandments, right? right? Like thou shalt not steal, commit adultery, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If we don't do those things, he's gonna do what?
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right? Keep verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Right? What does forever mean?
Eternity.
Eternity. So even till right now, right? So the curses that he put on those people back then, that
They're wearing off now.
select group of people,
Mhm.
we should still see those curses playing out today, right?
Yes, we do.
Well, let's see. Read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city,
Again, we just talked about it. In any city you go to, who's living the most cursed? Who's living in the ghettos? Who's in poverty? It's us, right?
Us.
Keep reading.
and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And cursed out that be in the field. We ain't gotta even really talk about that. Who was in the cotton fields? Sugar cane fields. The Native Americans got these fields taken from them. It's the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, bro. What they did is
Who
they
was
did.
in office making them to us?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Man. What they did was they took a group of people and they divided and conquered them. Told us that we were different people.
Right.
And started treating us as such. Right.
Facts.
Not knowing that we're all same people, blacks,
All those
Hispanics,
minorities.
right?
Right.
Marginalized people, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Right. Give me verse 54.
Mm.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
We used to be very tender and delicate amongst each other, right? Now, if you look at a Negro too long, man, right? You start pulling his pants up, like, brother, I just want to tell you, I like your shoes. Where you get them from? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because we still have it within us.
Right.
The delicacy.
That curse is still on us, right? Because we said these curses gonna be on us what?
I think
for?
it's kind of wearing off
Forever.
a little bit.
In a way, I'm gonna get to it though, right? Watch this.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Now we used to be cool with each other. Now our eyes evil toward each other. Y'all ever heard of the
It's
term?
Deuteronomy, right?
Yep,
Yep.
Deuteronomy, right? Y'all ever heard of the term black on black crime?
Yeah.
Now, have you ever heard of the term Arabian on Arabian crime? You have?
I
Where at?
haven't.
I was about to say, because that's new to me,
I haven't.
right?
I haven't.
The reason why I say that is because black on black crime is more prominent than anything else
Yeah.
because of this curse that's put on our people, right? You don't hear about white on white crime like that. You don't hear Asian on Asian crime like that, right?
No.
Only black on black crime. Why? Because it was a curse on our people. But keep reading,
And very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother,
right?
and toward the wife of his
The
bosom,
wife of his bosom, right? Who they're with, right?
and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave.
Now, which nation of people is known for growing up to not know their dads?
I don't know my name.
You don't know your dad?
Of course.
See that?
Talking about this.
Hey, look. When when you watching movies and all that stuff, when you joking with white people, only the first joke they get is, "Well, at least I know my
My
daddy
dad."
Jerome."
Yeah.
Right?
Then you gotta
Because white
fight.
people, we cursed by this even till today, right?
Yeah.
Now watch this. This is an undeniable curse, right? Now this chapter alone has about 60 curses that we identify with all of them. But I want to get y'all the dagger. Give me verse 68.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now this word Egypt, right? It's all throughout the Bible, right? A lot of people don't know this word Egypt is synonymous with bondage. That's why when you read Revelation, when it talks about the days that we're living in now, it refers to where we're living in right now as Egypt, right? Bring this out.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse number 2. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
What was Egypt?
out of the house of bondage.
Out of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. Now watch this. Bring this back from the top. This is a curse that was on our people now. Why?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again
Into bondage again.
with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With cars.
With ships.
With trains.
With ships.
A lot of people went into captivity. A lot of people went into slavery. But how many of them went into slavery on ships? But us, right? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Get us across the water.
Even with the Holocaust, they used trains.
Right.
They didn't use no ships.
They didn't use. This is how you know it's not talking about white people. It's talking about us, right?
Talking
Keep
about
reading.
this. Bitcoin.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Nowadays, man, we kind of kicking it like, you know, like that shit ain't happened. You know what I'm saying? We be kicking it. Hey, that's my teammate. That's my
Yeah.
friend. You know,
That's my
class-
teacher.
That's my classmate.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
My
saying?
Boy, man.
But the Bible makes
My
no
brother.
mistake. It says that we were sold unto our enemies, right? Keep reading.
For bondmen
For slave men
and bondwomen,
and slave women.
and no man shall buy you.
It says no man shall buy you. A lot of people would be like, oh, that's not talking about y'all because y'all was definitely bought. When it says no man shall buy you, that word buy in the Hebrew means to redeem. So it says no man's gonna redeem you out of your circumstance. That's why even till today we're still in our land of captivity. Right? You asked the question, right? You said you think it's getting better? I would say yes and no, but ultimately no, right? The reason why I would say this because yes, we've progressed from getting actually whipped and physically beat, right? So we don't have the whips and the chains no more, but we still got the whips and the chains. If you get what I'm saying, right? And we're enslaved to that stuff, and I'll kill a brother for that, right? I'll sleep with his girl for that, right? So we're still in the same situation, right? We're still enslaved. We're still in our land of captivity. They brought us over here. We never went back. You know where we came from? I don't know. I don't know, right? I mean, I know where we originated from. The people of the Bible, we originated from Jerusalem, right? We go back to Jerusalem, but we fled into Africa. I don't know where we were living at in Africa. There's over 50 countries in Africa, right? All these tribes in Africa, all these languages. I don't know which one I spoke, right? Now, through geography, right, we can find out a few things, right? I'm gonna show y'all a map. You guys know what an Ivy League school is?
Yes.
What's an Ivy League school? Right. Right.
I went to one.
Right. Like Yale, Harvard, right? Stanford, right? Now watch this. Gotcha. Now watch this. This is Stanford University. This is their website. They got a picture of the west coast of Africa during the Negro land, right? During the slave time, right? Now when I zoom in, it says
They don't want us to know how to read.
it says slave coast, right? And right above
How you
slave
doing,
coast it
sister?
says what? Kingdom of what?
Kingdom
Kingdom of Judah, right? One of the 12
that's who you
tribes.
lying.
His
We
name
the
what?
Israelites.
The man who they call Jesus Christ, he came from what tribe? He's the lion of the tribe of Judah.
Judah, big
Right?
dog.
They know who we are. Our people don't.
Right.
There's a problem with that, right? Why is there a problem? Give me Deuteronomy 32 and is it 26?
Yeah. 32 and 26.
Luke is not.
Look at Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse number 26.
Lower.
You got it? You get that out and you bring me Jeremiah 17 and 4.
This is Deuteronomy 32 and 26. I said, I would scatter them into corners.
Right.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
We used to be called Israelites, right? The people of this book. We're emphatically the people of this book. These curses that I just mentioned, just a couple of them, right? No doubt, no other nation goes with that but us, right? Right? You watch this, right? But collectively, you know what I'm saying, right? And so it says, read that from the
You
top.
supposed to eat that right now.
Deuteronomy 32 and 26 from the top. I said, I would scatter them into corners.
bread.
With them ships, right? The corners he's talking about is all throughout
Shrimp.
the world. He's going to scatter us, right?
Right.
Keep reading.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
We were first called Israelites, and now
It won't be conscious.
if you go fill out an application, you think Israelite gonna be on there? It's not, right?
Right.
That the remembrance of us has ceased from among men, right? Keep reading some more.
You are only how much of
says
a man?
in verse
3
Phil.
months.
Were
Three
it not
fifths?
that I feared, were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy,
No, they
lest their
told it.
adversaries should behave themselves strangely, unless they should say, our hand is high, and the Lord hath not done all this.
Right. It's important to know, right? A lot of people say, like, man, why is all this happening? The Lord did this, but it's because of a consequence of we did, right? A lot of people got mad at Kanye when he said slavery was a choice. See, I mean, what he was trying to say is this, like, we didn't have to go into slavery. All we had to do was be obedient. All we had to do was listen.
It's called
Right.
breaking.
Right.
Yep.
Matter of fact, this is why we should have listened to the word. A lot of people be like, man,
Your feet went like
I want to do my own thing. You know, I hear what God's saying, but I think this is right. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12 real quick.
My personal relationship with God.
Yeah, my person. Oh yeah, Jeremiah 17 and 4. Bring that out real quick.
Jesus might
The
have
book
been
of
wrong.
Jeremiah, chapter 17, and verse number 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage which I gave
This
thee.
is God speaking. He said, I'm going to discontinue from the heritage that I gave you, right? Keep reading. Our heritage is our customs, right? What we used to do, what we used to eat, how we used to dance, how we used to speak, right? Our language, our speak, right? Where we used to our lifestyle. Exactly, right? He said he was going to take all that away from us. When he took us away from that, what happened?
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not.
Now we're over here celebrating 4th of July,
Ah,
Christmas, right? Speaking English, right? You know what I'm saying? All this stuff happened. You guys watch Roots before?
I don't want to watch Good Times.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm tired
The
of
story of Kunta Kinte, man. As soon as he came off them slave ships, he said, "What's your name, boy?" He said, Kunta Kinte." He said, "Nah, your
Your
name
name
Toby."
Toby.
He said, "No, my name Kunta Kinte."
What that boy?
He kind of beat him until he said his name was Kunta Kinte.
Toby.
And still in that fear, like, hey, the heritage that you got, right? The name that you was called is no more. And our people's been going through that for so long to the point where we don't know where we came from, what we used to speak, no nothing, right? We're so far gone, we're tripping over ourselves.
We all got European or Spaniard last names.
Right. You know what I'm saying? We don't know where our origin comes from.
Our really deep down roots, our real ancestors.
Exactly. And they say something, they said, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know
Know
where
you
you're
going.
right? You know, it's the same thing right here. You got somebody got Deuteronomy 10 and 12? Book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? Now we know we're Israelites, right? We know we're God's chosen people, and now something's already required of us, right? Keep reading. But to fear the Lord thy God, right? To walk in all his ways and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Right? To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To what?
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To what?
To
keep the commandments of the Lord.
Right? And his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
No, for thy bad.
For thy good.
For thy what?
For thy good.
For thy good. Right? So we were supposed to do these commandments and they're for our good, right? I'm gonna leave you with one commandment or a couple commandments, right? And I'm gonna show you the parallel of how they were for our good, right? Give me Leviticus 11 and 7. The book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse number 7. And you use bone zone? Give me Amos 3 and 2. Leviticus 11 and 7. Right. And the swine. And the swine. Now this is a commandment, right? You guys know what swine is?
Swine. You talking about the animal?
Yeah,
or
swine. Not swine, but swine.
Swine. I know.
You guys know what it is?
No, it's fabric.
No. Swine is pork. Pork is pig, right? You know, you got your lobster. I mean, not lobster. I'm tripping. Sausage, pepperoni, ham, chitlins,
Pig feet.
bratwurst, right? Bacon. All of that. Bacon, right? It says, now the swine. Keep reading. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. Right. He is unclean to you. It says that the swine, the pig, is unclean to us. Now, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, almost all of our dishes got that junk in it, bro. Right? Almost every single one. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at this, right? When you look at the swine, and you look at the top chart, the charts of diabetes, gout, high blood pressure, right? Who's leading those charts?
Us.
It's us. No, without a shadow of a doubt, it's black people, right? And that's just the pork, right? Because you gotta think the pork, man, is high in sodium because they got no sweat glands. They can't get rid of toxins, right? They don't have the a good stomach chamber, so they can't break down things that they need to get out their bodies with the waste, right? They're retaining all of that. You know what I'm saying? They'll eat anything. Y'all know a pig will eat anything, right? They'll eat a dead person, right? And we consume that stuff, right? Keep reading though on Leviticus. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. So we can't eat the pig, right? And it's for our good. It might taste good, but it's for our good not to eat it. Keep reading. That are in the waters. Right. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Right. So we can eat seafood, right? But they gotta have fins and scales. Now, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, what do we eat all the time that we have made delicacies that don't have fins and scales? Tilapia got fins and scales. Fins and scales.
They come out the water.
Huh?
In the water.
In the water. In the water.
Catfish got
What you get in that juicy crab?
Catfish don't got fins.
Crab meat.
Catfish don't got scales.
Catfish, crab, lobster,
Shrimp, crab, lobster,
Catfish don't got
oysters, clam.
Oh, you said what? Seafood?
That seafood boil I like.
When you get a seafood boil, bro.
It got the
look,
sausage
what
in there
It got
too.
the sausage in there. It
not
got
good for
the
you.
crab.
What
The
ain't-
only thing clean in there is the
It
corn.
ain't good for you.
And the
You're right.
potatoes.
It ain't good for you.
Right?
That
Right?
boiled egg.
But like you said, bottom feeders.
Hey, look. God know your body, man.
You really can
Exactly.
live on bread and milk alone.
See that?
Because that's what your mommy and daddy gave you.
Yeah.
If you know that,
See,
and if you didn't eat it, your mother would have been like,
And
"Get out."
your body has those reactions to
I
that.
can't
It's
eat
telling you
that
something. You
stuff,
wasn't
so I
created to
eat
do that.
vegetables.
Right? And so watch this.
Because grandma
As
said
blacks
you're
and
supposed to
Hispanics,
eat
right?
teeth
As
on
blacks and
the food.
Hispanics, why are we at the top of the chart when everybody else eats it too? Right? Why is that? You give me Amos 3 and 2 real quick. You still got it?
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse number 2.
Watch this.
You only have I known
God is talking to his chosen people. He said, you only have I known of what?
of all the families of the earth.
Of all the other nations, of all the other families on the earth, I've only known you. Therefore what?
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's why I'm gonna punish you for all of your iniquities. I don't care what everybody else doing, right? If y'all parents said, hey, look, what's your name?
Corey.
Hey, Corey, look, your mom said, don't go out and do that, right?
Well, my mom won't call me Corey. My name ain't Heaven.
Okay, Heaven, don't do that, right? You know what I'm saying? So she said that, and you came back and you did it anyway. She said, why you do that? You said, because DJ did it. What's your mom gonna say?
You gonna do everything that DJ tells you
Right.
to do?
What do you say? Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, if DJ go jump on the roof, you gonna do it
You gotta
too?
jump out the roof. You gotta do it
Right?
too.
Yeah, I'm
She
not
also
doing
gonna probably gonna say something. DJ not my
I'm
child.
gonna do
Right.
not.
Right?
So why you
I'm not
doing the
doing
book? Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
So
not
she
saying
said DJ's not my child.
I'm not doing that.
That sounds familiar. Read that from the top one more time.
You're responsible.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse number 2.
Right.
You only have I known.
God said, you only have I known. I don't know DJ. Therefore what?
Therefore I will punish you for all your
That's
iniquities.
why I'm gonna punish you, because I told you not to do it. I don't care. Hey, these white folks, they can eat all the shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, all they want to, and be the healthiest beings ever. Right? But when you do it, I'm gonna punish you. It might seem unfair, but to whom much is given, much is what?
Taken away.
Much is required.
No, taken away.
To whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah, but you get more not taken away. You get more of your rights taken away. You get more of your food taken away out of your body.
You know what that is?
It's called suffering.
It's called responsibility.
Yeah,
It's
but
called
it's called
sacrifice.
suffering.
Sacrifice.
Suffering,
It's called
cuz.
responsibility.
Why should I
because
suffer?
now I have
If
more
you're
of a
not- if you're
responsibility on
eating
me.
pork, why should
I
I
can't
suffer?
do it.
Can't
A
do
lot
it
of things
right.
that I used to do. A lot of things that other people do, I can't do that. Right? It's called responsibility, right?
Can I
And
say
so,
something real
yeah.
quick? It's just like this. Like a lot of people, just like that statement the sister just said. Like when you start serving the Lord, you realize that a lot of stuff that you like to do is gonna get taken away, right? But people got to start understanding how to truly be businessmen when it comes to just operating in the world in general. One thing business will teach you is that it's not about how much you lose; it's about how much of what are you losing, right? So if if I was to lose 100 pounds of fat right now, I wouldn't think that's a bad thing, right? But to say if I was to lose $100 in gambling, what do you think I'll cry more about? The money, because I lost it in gambling. I lost it the wrong way. But I wouldn't cry about losing 100 pounds of fat because it comes with responsibility. I'm changing my